Hey, what's going on guys, ThatBritGamer here. Today we are doing a tier list. As many of you know, I'm an avid Pokemon fan, so I have opinions. Basically we're going to be doing a starter Pokemon tier list today, but just the base form, not the middle or last evolutions, because I have different opinions on different stages of the evolution. So if this one goes well and people like it, we'll do one on the middle evolutions and final evolutions as well, and then maybe some other Pokemon tier list. But for now, we're just going to go base form, starter Pokemon, and I will say at the start, I love most Pokemon, so like even my like lowest rated starter Pokemon I'll probably still like them in some sense, apart from maybe a couple. So even if I put them low, I'm just doing it as like a sphere of reference. Like an E starter Pokemon is still probably like a B overall in terms of things I like. So I think we'll get started right at the beginning with Bulbasaur here. So where's Bulbasaur go? Bulbasaur, absolutely solid Pokemon. Love it, it's adorable. Great for Brock and Misty at the start. I think I'm going to go with A for Bulbasaur. Controversial, I know a lot of people would put it straight into S tier, but Bulbasaur was like never my first choice, as much as I do like it. Next we got Charmander, and I know main character syndrome, but Charmander's an S for me. It was the first Pokemon I ever picked when I started Pokemon Red all those years ago. I went with Charmander, so regardless, Charmander will always be a top tier mon for me. Next we've got Squirtle. Now I do like Squirtle more than Bulbasaur, but I'm debating if it's S tier or A tier. I think I'm going to go S, but it very much could have gone into A as well. But as a whole, the Kanto trio bangs. You can't deny that. Moving into the Johto region, we've got Chikorita. Very controversial Chikorita for some people. Some people either really like it, some people really hate it. For me, I'd put Chikorita probably D tier. It's definitely not an E for me. Chikorita's adorable, but I've played the Johto games and Chikorita just can't compete with the others. It's got to go D tier. Next, we're looking at Cyndaquil. Now, I've always struggled with Gen 2 games in deciding whether to pick Cyndaquil or Totodile. I can never decide on which is my favorite of the two. Like, it feels like it changes every year. So, no, but Cyndaquil is an absolute solid mon. I think I'm going to put it top of A tier for now. The next we're going Totodile, and remember just base form. Totodile for me, ooh, very difficult. This could go either way. I'm gonna put it S tier. Just it's in the anime, Totodile was amazing, so I think it gets points as a Totodile just for that. All right, now moving into Hoenn, we've got Trico. Trico, I mean, like as an evolution line, banging. As base form, probably a B for me, if I'm honest. Grovyle and Sceptile I like a lot more, but Trico, I'm gonna have to go B. Next we got Torchic. Again, big fan of the evolution line. Torchic in itself, maybe a C tier. Now I might rearrange this as I get to the end, depending on where I put where I put different Pokemon. So I'm gonna go C tier for now, but it could have been a B, so we'll keep an eye on that. Mudkip, straight up S tier, like you can't deny that. Mudkip slaps. Now we've got Sinnoh, Turtwig. Some of you may already know, my absolute favourite starter of all time. Turtwig is the best. Turtwig goes right to the top of S tier for me. Adorable little grass turtle. We love Turtwig so much. Turtwig's the number one. Nothing is going above Turtwig. Chimchar, again, because of how much I love Turtwig, Chimchar and Piplup definitely don't get a lot of attention from me. So as base form, I'm gonna go B for now, because it doesn't, again, when we're looking at other tier lists, different question, but as a Chimchar, we're gonna go B. Next up we got Piplup. It's gonna be a C or a D if I'm honest. Piplup doesn't do a lot for me. Definitely my last choice in Sinnoh. I'm gonna go D for now, but we might reevaluate that. Right, next up we got Unova, and very, very controversial. Unova is probably one of my least favorite regions. Now again, saying that, least favorite of a series of games that I absolutely adore. So when I say Gen 5 is one of my least favorites, it's like because of how much I love the other generations more. I still do love Generation 5, it's amazing, but in terms of Pokemon, it's definitely one on the lower end for me. but I also just haven't played it as much as some of the others, so that also doesn't help it. But Snivy, I'm gonna go D. Next up we've got Tepig, which originally was my first choice in Unova, and I used to like it, but I've gone off it quite a bit, to be honest. Tepig's gonna be our first E tier. It just doesn't hit. Then we got Oshawott as well, and to be honest, might go E tier as well. Also, personal vendetta, I was shiny hunting this recently and it took bloody forever, so that it loses a point there as well. Now we move into Kalos, Gen 6, Chespin. Let's be honest, it's bottom of E tier. Chespin, no, I don't like Chespin whatsoever. Chespin, you're at the bottom. I'm sorry for anyone who likes Chespin out there, I apologise, but Chespin's my least favourite starter. Next we've got Fennekin, which gets a lot of hate. Personally, A tier. I really like Fennekin. It's my favourite Gen 6 starter. I think it's great. Adorable little fox that breathes fire. What more can you want? Then we've got Froakie. This is going to be another controversial moment for me. I know the Greninja line is one of the most popular lines in Pokemon. It's never done it for me, to be honest. And for that, I'm going to put it in D tier. That's possibly the most controversial thing in this whole video. Just not a big Froakie fan. We've got Alola coming up next with Rowlet. Rowlet is amazing. I'd probably put Rowlet at an A, to be honest. Adorable little owl. We love Rowlet. Rowlet's staying at A. Then we've got Litten, again as the base form. Really like Litten. Could go A, could go B. Gonna put it in B. Very cute, but Rowlet definitely takes the top spot. Like, even it's weird because of the way I'm ranking this is like almost based on, like, I put Trico at a B, but that's kind of comparing it to its own region. Whereas, like, I almost would put it above some of the ones I've got higher. But the way I look at a lot of them is I'm, like, kind of comparing them to, like, their own region as well. So it's a weird ranking. Next up, we've got Poplio. Where'd Poplio go? I'll be honest, it's not going to be high. It's going to be a C or a D for me. Probably going to go D tier. Not too big on Poplio. Right, now we've got Sword Shield, we've got Galar. Big ups England, big ups the UK. Grookey. Probably C tier for me, if I'm honest. And just straight off the back of that, Scorbunny C tier as well. Very cute mons, but for me personally, Sobble. Love Sobble. Sobble's my B tier. I think Sobble's cool. So for me, that's the ranking of Sword and Shield. That brings us to Paldea, which I honestly think Paldea has amazing starters. Speaking of which, we're starting with Sprigatito, which I'm going to put in A tier. It's a little green kitty. It's adorable. Sprigatito's great. Going right there. Moving on to Fuecoco, S tier. Fuecoco's amazing. We love Fuecoco. Look at that face. Tell me you don't love that little guy. Fuecoco, banger design. Then we've got our last Paldea starter, Quaxly. Probably going to go B tier. Feel like it'd be close to A, but just Sprigatito and Fuecoco being so much better, weigh it down for me personally. And just for the sake of things, we'll go with Pikachu and Eevee from the Let's Go games and from Pokemon Yellow. Pikachu for me, overrated. Raichu is better. So as a starter, gonna go C tier, honestly. Eevee, however, A. Eevee's a banger. I played Let's Go Eevee, loved it. My Eevee's called Chip. Great. Right, this is where we've got our list now. I'm gonna just have a think and see if there's any revisions I want to make now that I see it all together, and we'll come back with a final list. Okay, so my only actual like tier move was I've moved Torchic up one. I feel bad having it that low down in comparison. I did adjust the kind of ordering of the rows here a bit. This is kind of in order of what they would be. So Cyndaquil, my top of A tier, down to Rowlet, B tier, Trico at the top, Torchic near the bottom. Actually, I put Oshawott above Tepig. Oshawtt's a close D. Oshawtt's not too bad, but Tepig and Chespin down at the bottom for me. Piplup, okay, no, Piplup's here. Snivy's above Poplio. Froakie's above Poplio. Pikachu's gonna go top of C tier. I think I'm pretty happy with that. And again, I know some people will look at this list and go, that's disgusting. Oshawott, Tepig, and Chespin are the 3 best starters ever. It's everyone has their own opinion. If you want to let me know, I'd rather not go into arguments in the comments, but if you want to let me know what your choices are, because again, everyone's got their own opinion. If you love Chespin, that's fine. I'm not going to go at you for loving Chespin, just not my favourite. But like I said, I love Pokemon in general. I love all Pokemon, so regardless of my E tiers and Ds and whatever, still love them a lot. And I think if you want me to do the middle stages and final stages, let me know, because I already know there are some Pokemon that are low down that are going to be a lot higher, and some that are high that are going to be a lot lower. It's definitely a very different vibe for my choices on the other evolutions. But otherwise, that's probably been a nice short video for today. I just want to get a bit more Pokemon content out there. Any ideas, let me know, but please like and subscribe if you did enjoy. I'll catch you in the next one, and see ya.